Well, good afternoon, guys. Travels with Dottie here in the car with Dottie. We're taking a little trip to our mail service, mail messages and more, just to see what might have come in the past couple of weeks. I think it's been a month since I've been there, so hopefully there won't be any tax notices or bills, unexpected bills or things of that nature. But mail messages and more is in Pahrump, but it's outside of town. It's 4.6 miles from here on North Leslie Street. So that's where Dottie and I are headed right now. It's a sunny, beautiful day. Well, sunny and a little hazy. No clouds, but it's hazy. And the car thermometer incorrectly shows 99 degrees. It's no 99 degrees. It's probably about 83 will be my educated guess. So it's a little bit out of town. One of the things I like about it is it's possible I'll see some wild donkeys, maybe wild horses on the way. Who knows? You see. And if I see some, I'll definitely turn the camera around and let you see them too. My last video was, a successful shopping trip to Walmart. And what was successful about it was, I've been really struggling with, interior retail footage, in particular with the GoPro the GoPro 10, where there was a lot of refracted light from the overhead lights that were creating some distortions and what looked like smudges on the lenses, but it's really that reflected light. I know this because when it first started happening and people started saying, "Hey, clean your lens," I was furiously cleaning the lens every time I went, and the same stuff would come back in the same places. And I did a little research and found out that's what it was. So using a different camera now, it was very successful in terms of the footage being nice and clean and crisp. And I enjoy doing shopping videos, and some people enjoy it because, I get not a huge number of views, but I get people that enjoy it. And here's where I came up with the idea. One of my favorite YouTube channels is German in Venice, a German guy that emigrated to the United States probably, 30 years ago plus, and he lives in Venice Beach, California. Big guy, has a wonderful German accent and does great videos. I mean, he's got a pretty big channel, and he does events and things around, Los Angeles that are usually very interesting, but he also does, he was saying, I run out of things to do and to video. And so he decided, was him doing grocery shopping. And I was like, I really enjoyed it. It was just relaxing to watch him shop and sort of talk about the stuff that he sees in the store. And I liked it. So I started doing it too and got a fairly good response from it. The interesting thing that I've been thinking about with YouTube, I saw someone doing a lot of current quartzite stuff, quartzite videos, and he's got basically almost exactly the same number of subscribers as me, but magnitude's greater views, not viewers, but views. Like he'll have 10, 20, 30, 40,000 views. And I'm like thinking, well, how is he doing this? And I noticed his titles and thumbnails were very dramatic. And I'm not going to say that he doesn't deliver on the drama, but I think it's a little a little deceiving, little, um, but he does, make the difficulties that he has sound very startling. And I'm sure that's where the views are coming from. And I'll admit that I altered a couple of experimental wise, I altered a couple of, uh, thumbnails to make them a little more dramatic. There was one where I was just taking a walk and I happened to be talking about my friends that had problems with their RV visiting me. And, I made like RV crisis friends stranded, something like that. And it didn't have a huge impact. It had a little bit of impact on the views, but it didn't sit well with me. I didn't feel good about it. So I just don't think I'm going to go that route. I looked through my thumbnails and, my titles, and they're pretty descriptive of what the heck's going on. Like a picture of the front of Walmart, the Walmart logo, and I'm going shopping at Walmart. There's nothing dramatic about it. I have software that evaluates, my, uh, videos as I publish them for how successful they may be. And of course, there are categories where I fall short. And one of them is your title and, the main criticism is your titles and thumbnails don't elicit an emotional response. And I realized in order to fulfill that requirement, I would have to exaggerate. I'd have to try to sell it, and I don't want to do it. I just don't. I mean, I don't have a huge ethical dilemma with this. But it just it doesn't feel good. It isn't me. And I never went into the YouTube thing to earn a living. That's covered. Um, so that's not the purpose. And I think the purpose is, I like it when people respond in the comments that they like what they saw, that it meant something to them, it entertained them, it made them maybe think about things differently. That is what I do it for. The other hand, it's tough to get the negative stuff. There's negative stuff that you don't see because if I get rid of it. I mean, I have the choice of, I can, really bad stuff is automatically held in limbo by the system and I have to approve it, and I can just decline to publish the comment. So, and the other thing I can do if someone's just really just being nasty is I can exclude them from the channel. I just won't, with one click, they won't be able to see my channel or anything that I post. And that's rare, but I do that. But, man, sometimes there are, legitimate kind of complaints or, criticisms that I do leave out there, and that is positive as the good comments make me feel. It's human nature. The negative ones, um, are a little painful, that they're not fun to hear. Um, one of the things that happens is that when you like record myself, like now driving, in particular, when I'm showing you the road versus me, and people see how I'm driving and all the decisions that I'm making, or how I'm walking in a store, people have criticisms. They say, you shouldn't do this, you should do that. I don't think you came to a complete stop at that stop sign, things like that. And it's, it's kind of tough to be under that scrutiny. And I say that it's like, do I want my channel to grow? Yeah, I do. And I can only imagine the big channels that get, millions of views. Um, the, they, they must discipline themselves just to ignore the comments. They almost have to. Um, I don't know. I do think maybe I need a little bit thicker skin for the, um, the criticisms. Anyway, I have arrived here at Mail Messages and More, and I'm gonna, stop the recording, go in and get my mail, come back on and let you know if I got anything interesting in the mail here. I will be right back. So I'm back. That wasn't fun. Well, part of it's fun. Part of it, I got this. This is liquefied RV toilet treatment from Matt's RV Reviews. I've been following him on YouTube for quite some time, and he does RV reviews. He does wonderful reviews of them. And he's got a product he's been selling for about a year now. It's a treatment for your black and gray tank, and I've been buying it from him. It's great stuff. It's better than anything I've used before. And they're trying to really build this business, so they're giving away these for the shipping cost. This is like a $20 item, and the shipping is like $5. So for $5, I sent them $5, and they sent me a treatment. So that's good. Tell you what's not good is your balance due, Sierra Vista Hospital, $660.34. Wow. When I was in New Mexico last year, I'm going to kind of get going here, and I'll tell you this whole story here. And if you've been with me, you've heard this story before, but the expense is far more than I thought it was. So I was in Elephant Butte State Park outside Truth or Consequences, New Mexico, and I got a nosebleed one night. Not usually a thing to send me into a panic or anything. I'm a paramedic. I was a paramedic. I knew how to stop a nosebleed, and I could not stop this one. 2 hours later, and it was still gushing out of my nose, and I was beginning to get worried. And this I knew. There's a nose spray called Afrin that has a drug in it that will constrict the blood vessels, and it'll stop you from your nose from bleeding if you have a bad nosebleed. I didn't have any. It's 1 o'clock in the morning. The closest place that was open that I could buy Afrin was over 70 miles away. But there was an ER 5 minutes away at Sierra Vista Hospital. So against my better judgment, I went to Sierra Vista, and lo and behold, the doctor gave me a thing of Afrin, and that worked, and it stopped it, and that was that. And I thought, well, they couldn't tell. They had no idea how much it was going to cost. Well, in January, I got a bill for about $1,100 from like a company called Emergency Services for my visit to the ER, and I paid that. I said, $1,100, that seems about average for the country. And then I got another bill in the mail here for another $660. And this one direct from Sierra Vista. Well, it turns out that first bill was the physician's bill that is done separately from the hospital. It's emergency physicians billing company or something. And then this bill was $660. So we're talking $1,700 and you know what? They Afrin, they let me keep it. Thank you very much. A $1,700 bottle of Afrin. Now, we're paying for the availability, the facilities, and the expertise of a physician that, by the way, I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning. But boy, that was pricey. So I sat in the parking lot and I called the hospital and I paid it over the phone. I like having my debts cleaned out. But anyway, so I paid my bill. I got my liquefied RV treatment lavender scent for $5. Oh boy. Well, that's life on the road, guys. Life on the road when you have terrible insurance. Why didn't my insurance pay? Well, it's with my deductible is like $8,000, so that's why. I hadn't met my deductible, hadn't even come close, so I had to pay it. Next year, I will be on Medicare, starting in, well, I'm assuming my birthday, February 20. I'm not going to tell you my exact birthday. It's February 20 something. In, uh, uh, in next year, I'll be 65 and I'll be all signed up for Medicare, and I won't have these. If I have to go to an ER for some reason, I will not get a big bill. With the Medicare and the supplement that I'm planning on, my max out of pocket for a year is about $220. So that'll be a big relief. I won't have these big bills to pay. Now, to get that supplement, I think, from your Social Security, they take out, I think, 175 for the Part A and Part B, which is mandatory. And then the supplemental policy that covers the co-pays and everything is probably going to be about another $125 a month. So when it's all said and done, if you add up what I paid out of pocket for this emergency room visit versus what I'm going to pay for premiums above and beyond what I'm paying now, it's about the same amount of money, believe it or not. But I am well protected if I have like a major medical problem. And I know I'm going to have at least one because I know I'm going to die someday. So that'll be a big medical bill. And who knows what'll happen between now and then. And, you get over 65 and stuff happens. So I believe I'm going to get either the Part G or N supplement, which is anywhere from, I think from my research so far, anywhere from $100 to $130 or $140 a month on top of the $175. So that's over $300 a month for medical insurance. But like I said, my max out of pocket, if I do the G, there's a little bit of extra risk on the end, but I'm not going to go into the details. It's pretty minor. But you can save about $20 a month, I think, in the premium. So we're talking about $300 a month to really insulate you from any big medical bills. And that's the $300 a month is going to that's peace of mind that I'm not going to have thousands of dollar bills like happens to some people. So that's my plan for next year. And what I was going to say something else about that. I forgot. The other reason, everybody says, oh, they're Advantage plans, they're free. Well, Advantage plans may be free. However, there's some constraints associated with them. They all have some amount of out-of-pocket expenses that may come close to the total premiums I pay for the Part G or N. However, there's two things to know about Advantage plans that I have learned. and they are these two things. One, for a nomad, these plans are regional. So they're not readily transferable if you happen to be in a different state than your policy is in. You may qualify for emergency services, but for other things, you would have to be back in network in the state that you got it in. And the other thing is that Advantage plans is like, how can they be free? This is how they're free. Advantage plans are Medicare, the federal government, basically contracts with private insurance companies and says for X number of dollars, we will pay you to administer the plan for someone with Medicare, the whole thing, Part 8, everything. So all the claims and everything for the regular Medicare and everything go through this insurance company. And they can do things like require you get a referral for a specialist. They can decline certain procedures or drugs, and they have the flexibility that private insurance companies have. But if you go with the GAP plan, with Medicare, it's all Medicare. The GAP plan will be managed by a private insurance company, but they will not have say on whether things are approved or not. They are simply a processor. So if your doctor says you need this test and he orders the test, then they have to approve it. They don't get to pick and choose where you go or what claims are approved. That's under Medicare. So does Medicare approve, 100% of everything? No, they don't approve. They have rules, but they're much more lax than private insurance companies. So for those two reasons, I will not get an Advantage plan. I want to be able to go to any doctor anywhere that takes Medicare. I want to be able to go to any cancer treatment center in the country that I think is the right thing to do without an insurance company telling me you can go here but not there. If a medical facility takes Medicare, I'm going to be able to go there, and my max out of pocket, no matter what, is going to be $220. So that's my kind of rant on what I have learned this past year researching Medicare, Advantage plans, and GAP plans. And I can tell you that what I'm telling you is consistent with every YouTube video produced by agents, and I've probably watched 20 or 30 of them. And this information is consistent. So if you're like me and you're about to go to Medicare, certainly do your own research. Find yourself a really good insurance agent and be aware that the Advantage plans pay a higher commission to these agents than the GAP plans do. So just be aware of that. It's a reason why a lot of insurance agents really push these Advantage plans. They say, come on, take it, it's free. It's true. There's usually no premium, and they get paid by Medicare, the federal government. They get a flat fee for managing your Medicare, your insurance, and it's to their advantage to pay out as little as humanly possible. That's what insurance companies do. Love it or leave it or like it or hate it. The private insurance companies are in the business of making money. And you make money by taking in premiums and paying out as little as humanly possible, or legally possible, or maybe even ethically possible. I don't know. But I do know that it's profit driven. And I know if I can avoid being part of that, I'm going to avoid being part of that. So this is my video for the day, and My topic was driven by what was in my mailbox. And it's Friday. All my work is done for the day. It's almost 4 o'clock. Dottie and I are back. We reluctantly paid our $600, $660 bill to Sierra Vista Hospital. We are again debt free. And we're feeling good about that. We're not feeling good about having $660 less in the old checking account, but we feel good about paying our debts. And you know what? Next time I'll drive the 70 miles to get the Afrin from the drugstore or wherever it was that was open 60, 70 miles away at 1 o'clock in the morning. Or you know, I guess like what I have now that I didn't have though. I didn't have a clothespin or anything, but they also gave me a couple of these plastic clothespin things that you can pinch your nose and leave the picture on there, and that'll stop the bleeding too. I could have done something like that, or maybe I could have jury rigged something to make that happen. I don't know, but I do know that I made a $1,600 decision at 1 o'clock in the morning. That was not the smartest thing I've ever done, for sure. So I hope you enjoyed the video. This was on my iPhone in the car without a fancy microphone. We'll see what we can do in post-production to make the video a little prettier and the sound a little easier to listen to. I will, as always, let me pull over here in my spot and give you my full attention to say this. I appreciate you giving me your time to watch my videos. It means a lot to me. Thank you very much. Take care.